everybody, I'm Corinne Blackstone and welcome to my craft room. I'm so happy to have you here today. Before we get started, be sure that you're subscribed here on YouTube. It's completely free to subscribe and I'd love to have you as part of my crafty family. In today's video, we're going to be using our WeCreat laser to make laser engraved ornaments. These are so fun and a lot easier than you think. We're going to go over how to design them, size them, how to choose the cut setting and the power setting and all of that, plus speed, and we're gonna make these really fun ornaments. You'll also see me forget to do a step, which I think is actually super important to leave some of that in so that you know what happens if you forget to do that step too. This is so fun. We're gonna use some glass ornaments that I got at Michael's. I will link these down below in the video's description. I will also give you guys a link to purchase a WeCreat plus a coupon code if you want to grab one and save a little bit of money. I absolutely love mine. So without further ado, let's get started. The first thing I want to show you is how to download a design. I always use Creative Fabrica. It's fantastic. They always have such a good amount of things to choose from, and it's really inexpensive, which I love. I'll link down below where you can sign up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click download, and it is going to open up a folder and ask me where I'd like to save my design. So I'm going to save mine into my laser folder. You can change the name of your file if you want to. It's up to you. And then all I'm going to do is click save. Now, I need to open that folder and I need to extract all the files because they come as a compressed folder, which means you need to extract them or unzip them. Same thing. So I'm just simply going to click extract all and click extract. Now, once it's extracted all of my files, I do a couple things just to save myself some space on my computer. I'm going to open this bundle up and you'll see that I have all of these file types. I'm never going to use an EPS or a DXF file, so I'm going to delete those right off the bat. Then I'm going to take a look at what's in this all individual file folder because this seems kind of redundant since it's all the files that we have right here as well. So we can delete that as well if we want to. So go ahead and get rid of that one too. Now I keep both the PNG and the SVG, but for this you want to use the SVG file. But I'm going to open up my PNG folder so that I can find the file that I want to use since I can see them a little bit nicer here. Now, I think the one that I want to use is the Always in Our Hearts one. I think that one's perfect for what we're going to do. So I'm going to go back and I want to use the SVG. So that one was this one, Always in Our Hearts. Now, for this, all we simply have to do is drag this and drop this into the WeCreat software. And I'm also going to show you how we can kind of manipulate this a little bit to make it engrave better, especially with some other files that I'm going to show you how to use here in just a second. In your WeCreat software, simply click New Project. And I don't have my laser on or connected right this second because I want to kind of take a look at the file before I get ready to line it up and all of that. Now, what I want to do is drag and drop. I just find that that works so much better than doing a file import. So we want to use this top one, the Always in Our Hearts. One thing also, if you are new to working with SVGs, your computer may show them as a Microsoft Edge document, Firefox, something like that, but it'll be called an HTML document. Those are your SVG files. You just don't have a program selected to open them, so it's going to automatically open them in a web browser. So go ahead, drag and drop your file. Now it is really, really big as you can see. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to size it down and I'm just going to size it down to 5 inches. That way we can just kind of see the whole thing on our screen. The next thing I want to point out to you is down here in your layers panel, every single piece is an individual path, which is absolutely insane and not great for the way that your laser would work. So the laser will follow each individual path to engrave, meaning it will engrave the A, it will engrave the L, it will engrave the W. And so this is going to take a really long time the way that this design is set up. In order to make it take less time and do it in a way that makes more sense, you're going to use this merge option up here. And what you want to do is you want to merge graphic shapes. And now this can take a second to take effect. So just give it a second. This one actually went really fast. So now this is all one single path. So when it engraves, rather than bouncing all around on the design, maybe engraving a toe here and an S over here, it's going to go all the way across your design in a linear pattern, just like so, like back and forth, which is what we want it to do. We also want to make sure that we have fill engrave selected. Now we're going to mess with the settings once we get all of our images put into here, because we're going to use a couple of them at once, because you can engrave more than one ornament at a time. But I want to show you one design that we want to add some text to, and I want to show you how to do it in Inkscape, because Inkscape works a lot better if you're going to be adding text. It won't always let us merge our text and our design here in the WeCreat software. Inkscape is a completely free program that you can download at inkscape.org. So it's super easy. Honestly, doing this is a lot easier than you think. I know that you see the screen and you're like, wow, that's a lot of options. Don't worry, this is super simple. The first thing that I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to drag and drop the design that I want to use into the software. We're going to be using this 2-2 file. Go ahead and drag it and drop it. It is a little tough to see in this white color, so I am going to just change it to like red. That way it's easier to see what we're working with. Now don't worry about your sizing right now, because we're going to add some text, and you can add whatever you want to add to this, whatever family name. But to add text, it's so easy. Click on the A over here on the left-hand side, and then you can click anywhere on the screen. It doesn't matter where you put it, and you can add whatever text you want. And then you can go up here to the top, and you can choose a text, a different type of font, whatever you want to choose. It's up to you. Now mine takes a little while to load because I have a ton of fonts, so I'm going to go ahead and let this load, and we'll choose a font. Now you can choose any font that you want. It doesn't matter. You pick what you like. There's none of us judging here. If you like a font, go ahead and use it and have fun with it. So I think this Fries and Shakes one is the one I'm going to go with. I want to do something a little blockier, since this is all script, and using a script font on that might look a little bit strange. So now we want to move our design, so our word, into our round for our ornament. You want to select the arrow up here at the very top, and I'm going to pull this over just by clicking on it. Now I want to go ahead and size this to fit. If you want to stay within scale, you need to hold Control on your keyboard. But if you don't mind stretching it, you don't have to do that. You can stretch it out a little bit if you want it to fill up the space a little bit more. You do you. Have fun with it. Whatever you want to do is what you want to do. Now that I've added my name, I think it looks pretty good. I'm actually a little, too tall because it's blending into the T. So you can kind of play with it and just make sure that it's not like overlapping anywhere you don't want it to. I think that looks better. The text has to be changed into a path. If you don't do that, this won't work. So go ahead, select your text. I want you to go to Path. I want you to select Object to Path, which is this top one right here. Then you need to go to Object and select Ungroup. Then go to Path and choose Union. That's going to make that a SVG path, because remember we said that the laser follows a path. Without it being a path, it doesn't know what it's supposed to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this the same color, and I just want to make sure that they're all the same color. Then I'm going to go ahead and click File. I'm going to save it as, and I want to save it as an Inkscape SVG. I'm going to go ahead and save this into that laser folder, and I'm going to call it Blackstone Ornament. And then we can go over to the WeCreat software and upload this. So just like we did the Always in Our Hearts, we're going to do the Blackstone one the same. I'm going to scooch this over, and then I'm going to drag and drop the Blackstone one in. We're going to find that Blackstone ornament, drag it and drop it in. Now, again, you'll notice that we have the two separate paths here. It's going to allow us to merge these. You can tell because the merge is dark, and we can merge the graphic shapes. And that way it will do the across engraving instead of engraving the design and then engraving our name separately. Now you can see that it's all one path. So that's just going to be a lot easier. And we can make this the same color as the Always in Our Hearts because they're going to be doing the same function. Now I will say I do prefer to make these like a bright pink. I know it's a little hard on the eyes, but it makes it easier to see when we load the ornaments in. I'm going to load just a couple other little designs because like I said, I want to do a couple designs so that you can see these, and then we'll put the ornaments in, get the laser on, and I'm going to show you how to line these up and what settings to use. Now you'll notice that I already have a piece of white paper in my laser. I do this so that the laser can see the ornaments. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to put 2 pieces in. One's a little yellowy, but that's okay. And I'm going to put the ornaments in. Now, it doesn't really matter which way they face. Now, I'm going to hook this up to my computer and show you what our next couple of steps are. Now, I've plugged in the laser, and you can see here that it is working on connecting. And you can see that I use USB. That's going to give us the most stable connection. Now, what I need to do is to size all of these to fit on the ornaments. We're doing 5 separate ornaments all at once, just cuts. Why not? So I'm going to go ahead and size these down. I'm going to start with this one over here. Now, I want you to notice, see what happens to this if I just kind of grab it. I'm not holding anything on my keyboard. It changes the scale, so we don't want to do that. I'm going to click undo. I want you to hold shift on your keyboard when you select, and then it will hold your scale of your design. So that's really, really important. Now, another important thing to note is that you don't want this to take up the entire area of the ornament because it is round. So if it goes around those edges the way that we're doing it, because we're not going to use the rotary tool for this, you don't need to. It's going to engrave a little bit funny if you try to cover the whole thing. So what we're going to do is just get this center section here. You're going to leave just a little bit on the sides. Next thing we'll also want to do is make sure that this is turned so that it is straight on the ornament, and which is why I partially leave the tops on, but also you don't have to take them off. I use the box up here, which is how you turn it, and I want to get that even with the center of the tab up here, this ornament tab. And then I think I'm going to size this one down just a little bit more, not a ton, but just a bit. And then I'm going to kind of eyeball where center is, but you can also use that light that's hitting it to show you where the center is of your ornament. So you're just going to do that for each of your designs. So you're going to hold shift, you're going to size it down, and then you're going to kind of angle it so that it's right to the angle of your ornament, and then you just get it where center is. Now I could probably go a little bit bigger on this one, so I'm gonna go just a smidge bigger, and I did change the scale on it just a smidge, but I'm okay with it, so that should be fine. So again, you just take it, size it to whatever size you want it to be on the ornament, and then you can angle it so that it's centered with the tab. So I use this little tab. I think this one might need to smooth just a scooch. And then I do want to make this one a little bit bigger. This one's a little small. Make this one just a bit bigger. And we're just going to get it where we want it. I think that looks good. Now we may need to readjust these a little bit, but that's okay. This will be the easy part when we go have to readjust them. It's so much easier to readjust once you've got them on here and even, because you're going to have to autofocus this and you're going to have to refresh and all that, so you make sure that these are all even. But for now, I just like to get them kind of where I want them on the ornament. And I do think this one I want to make a little bit bigger and just move him just a little bit. All right, I think that looks better. And then we'll do this one, this always in our hearts one. And we're going to make this one a bit smaller. And then again, we will turn it so that it is the right side for the ornament. And I think actually that one needs to go just a little bit this way. So you're going to play with it a little bit. You're kind of going to fudge with them a bit just to get them where you want them to be. Like this one, he's a little high. I'm not liking that. I'm going to move him down a little. So you're going to just need to adjust as you kind of, do this. Now, the next thing that I'm going to do is select my material, which is right here. I'm going to select this material. And for me, I found that acrylic black worked great at the 3mm, and I just hit confirm. And then when you select your layers, you'll see that you kind of have the power settings. Well, these ones are perfect for what I have found that work for my machine, and I'm using the 20 watt. So I have my power at 30, my speed at 100, and I just do one single pass. Now you'll see that each of our ornaments are like a different path, but notice that this one for some reason by himself, that's okay. I'm just going to pull him down into this color. He was just a slightly different color, so you can pull them all so that they're all in one thing, and you'll see you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paths. So each of your ornaments is its own path. I don't want it to go all the way across all the ornaments to engrave. I'd rather engrave ornament by ornament, but if you want it to do where it's going to engrave across all of them, you would use this merge option and merge the graphic shapes. But like I said, I don't want it to do that. You can, especially like on a row like this where there's all of them, it probably would go faster. But I think for this, we'll go one at a time. Now, what you want to do is you want to hit the autofocus option, and I'm going to take you over to the camera. Now, our machine is autofocusing, so what it does is it moves that laser around, kind of finds where our designs are, and then it's going to tell that to the screen. And like I said, see how everything moved? That's totally normal. So because it autofocused, which we should have maybe done before we laid them out, I don't know. I sometimes do, I sometimes forget to. I'm going to click refresh really quick. Just to make sure that everything's good to go. And we're going to have to autofocus it again after we put like these where they go. But the nice thing is that they're now pretty well like in order. So we just need to size them back down. Remember to hold shift. And the nice thing is we shouldn't have to change their angle. We just need to size them back down to fit onto the ornament. You'll have to do each one individually. But we'll go ahead and get these kind of on the ornaments. And like I said, yeah, I probably should have autofocused before I did this. I always forget to do that, so I'd recommend autofocusing first, but do you. If you don't want to, then don't. So I'm going to go ahead, get these all lined up. And again, I am holding shift while I am sizing these down. That way they don't get all discombobulated and awkward. Once we have everything lined up, all we simply have to do, I always just double check, make sure my settings are in there. Fill engrave is exactly what I want, and I click the start button. Now, once you hit the start button, it's not going to start your laser just yet. It's going to process over onto your screen. Then you just simply click send, and it will send the information to your laser. Now we head over to the laser, and we're going to press the button on the machine and let it start. In total, this took about 24 minutes, so not too long for the 5 ornaments that we did. I've hit complete on the computer, and now we can open the lid and take these out. I will say that they are a little off, like where I had them on the screen, but it doesn't matter because these are round, so like they look fine. I'm going to pop each one out and give you a better look at what each one looks like. I'm going to show you each of our finished ornaments. So this is the Always in Our Hearts one, and this one came out so good. I think that the engraving came out really nice, but you're going to see one in here where I'll show you the top that didn't engrave as well because they are round. But look at how good this came out. Super easy to read. You lost a little bit of like the definition in the one tree, but I think everything else looks good. I think this one came out super nice, and I just want to show you like how clean and clear that engraving is. You can actually see inside the ornament, so you can add paint to these if you want to, but I just think these are so fun. Now, if you have any questions, please let me know in those comments down below. This is the one where you can see the stars didn't come out great because they were on that curve. So just be a little bit aware of like how big you're making them. Remember that rounded edge. Be sure to check down below for links for everything we used in this video, plus a coupon code to order your own WeCreat. I hope you all have a wonderful day.